and how important gratitude is. And when we do energy work, we always start with a prayer before we do energy sessions, and we give thanks for the opportunity to be a channel of healing light for someone, to be able to be a witness of someone else's journey.
Absolutely.
We're grateful for all the support we have from the other side, from our angels, from our guides, from our creator. And what happens when you focus on that energy of gratitude is it opens up the heart chakra. And the more open your heart chakra is, the clearer channel you are
the more your gifts
for life force energy, and the more your energy and more your gifts can shine. So, and the more aligned you are to source energy, the more you come into the remembrance of who you really are as well.
Yeah.
So it's all connected, this gratitude energy. And I think that, and like we were talking, going back to like, what does this look like? You know, besides being childlike and discovering your gifts and
gratitude.
just playing with no agenda and moving with no agenda and being present in the moment, realizing there's nothing dirty or unholy about being human. And then focusing on gratitude again. Now, I remember when I first came on the spiritual journey, when I was so depressed. I had postpartum depression and I had Tourette's syndrome. And I remember that was the advice, because Oprah was all over TV and her show talking about her gratitude journal. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start practicing gratitude. When I first started practicing gratitude, I literally felt like I was faking it. I was, so numb at that point. So I would say, I'm so grateful for the color green. I would get so basic. But over time, I discovered through that process that it's almost like adding coin to a penny bank, it's like after a while, it started to add up
over time.
And then I started to notice that I'm like, oh, I can't just expect happiness to show up for me. I have to cultivate that. I have to work it like a muscle to help bring me back. And so I started doing it, and I started feeling more and doing it and feeling more and doing it and feeling more. And that opened up my heart more. And then I did heart clearing, and I cried and I journaled and I did my own healing journey, and I opened up some more. It was just kind of this process. I called it the unraveling. It felt like an unraveling, like I was a mummy asleep.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And then coming through my waking was like taking this fabric off, and a little bit more light would come out and a little bit more light, until eventually I recognized myself as a light being here. But the power of gratitude is not small.
Yeah, gratitude has transformed my life too. When I'm struggling, it's like, I'm going to say gratitude prayer and just bring that back into my being. And it's like literally strengthens your energy bubble or your aura. And it gives you more power to accomplish things. It gives your spirit more energy to live off of. Like there's so many different benefits of it.
Yeah.
That it sounds so simple, yet it's so profound.
So profound.
One thing I like to think too is like, if it's hard to integrate even just experiencing something, or like, because we're physical and spiritual, sometimes we need a physical thing to bring in a spiritual element. I like to have a calendar on the wall where I can write 3 things I am grateful for today, or 3 miracles I saw today. But when I can give myself permission to see it over and over and over and over again, it almost helps reaffirm. It connects the physical and the spiritual to be one, and knowing that we're not separated. And so it's almost like a reminder. And it's like, oh, I can't have the same thing each day. It has to be something different. So you're really having to think about things differently.
Think about it and stretch. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were talking about going back to that concept that there's nothing unholy about being human, and the power of gratitude. When you really allow that energy to really sink in, to really understand that, then you start recognizing the ordinary miracles, like Sarah McLachlan's song, Ordinary Miracles. I love that song. There are the simple things are miracles in themselves. You start recognizing how sacred life is.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important to talk about death. I think it's like, come on, let's talk about it, right? Because
absolutely,
we're all going to die. This life will be over before you know it. This life will be over.
Yeah.
Right? Like
so
this
quick.
time frequency, everything is moving faster.
Yeah.
And there's nothing unholy about being human. Why do we resist the full human experience? Like even, coming into the world, we came here to experience what it's like to be human. Well, what is it like to be human? Well, you experience everything from ups and downs to everything in between, from joy to sadness to hate to love to you name it, every kind of duality experience you can possibly imagine on the complete spectrum, plus
that's a good point.
The seasons of your life, being young and growing up and being an adult and being middle age and coming into the fall of your life and the winter of your life, if you live that full time here.
Yeah.
And it'll be over before you know it, and you're going home. And really, it's not even going, you are home. You realize that's what I feel will happen as you go, and you'll realize you never truly left.
Yeah. It's like, it was just a little portion.
Yeah.
Of like of forgetting. The quicker that we can remember who we are, the more power we have to fully play in this world.
Yes. To be fully present, to give it all you've got.
Yeah.
Right. And be truly happy and to cultivate, like the Joseph Campbell, being the hero of your own journey.
Yeah.
If you imagine, living a whole life awake in this human experience, in complete remembrance of who you are, the understanding of the temporariness of this adventure that you're on, of saying, I have a responsibility to live a life that makes me truly happy, a life of joy, something that every day I have an opportunity, this recognition, gratitude, again, going back to that gratitude, every day you have an opportunity. It's like a rebirth in a way where you have the opportunity to be a more authentic expression of who you really are in your relationships, your work, and everything. Like, what would that look like if you were truly being authentic? Well, you definitely would not be vengeful, hateful, closed off, stifled of your creative energy, making others wrong. Because when you're in remembrance, you understand that you're love, you're peace, you're connected, that everything that you send out must come back to you one way or another in this world. It has to come back one way or another.
So why not bring it back in the good way?
Why not? Right?
Yeah. I think that's so powerful. Just like death is a part of life. But when we know that there's more, when we know that we're, like you said, we've never gone, we have never left, it almost makes life worth living now. The peace and happiness that we can experience now, but it also can help us dare to dream and to live bigger and to do more and to experience what we came here to do. And I think that's the beauty of this whole purpose of this podcast, is exploring these ancient healing wisdom and integrating it has given both of us such a profound new relationship to life. Mm-hmm. And it's the daily little things that really make the biggest difference. And so I'm excited for us to move forward on this journey with this podcast, is really to break down more of those ancient wisdom to really help us come into remembrance of who we are, so that we can dare to dream, we can dare to live, but we can remember that we haven't left where we came from.
Exactly. I love that. And I love that you brought up that bringing in that ancient wisdom, this age of Aquarius of information. It's not about, Aquarian energy is not about saying, hey, this is wrong, and this is wrong. Like this religion is better than this religion, or this belief is better than that, or this lifestyle is better than that lifestyle. And the way you love is better than the way I love, or I love better, all these comparisons. It's about taking in that information, saying what is authentic to my heart with the information that I'm receiving. That energy should bring you back into remembrance and service and compassion and joy. The way energy works in the world too is you get what you give.
Absolutely.
And, if we're authentically expressing who we are by integrating these wisdom teachings, because these wisdom teachings are like roadmaps.
Yes.
From our elders, from the wise ones who said, look, we've been human. And let me tell you something.
Let me give you a little bit of help on this human journey.
If you do that and this ends up happening, if you do this and this ends up happening. And
so you don't have to fall off that cliff. I'll tell you how to work around the cliff. Don't fall off the cliff.
Yeah. So why not gather?
Yeah.
Why not gather all the wisdom from the Bible, from the Quran, from the Bhagavad Gita, from the Tao Te Ching, from all of these sacred texts that are all over the world, and say, what did my elder say? And how can that information assist me on my journey back home?